Welcome back to More Than My Weight, where we talk about life after weight loss surgery and any related topics. Today we are talking about lipedema, or some people call it lipedema. It is Lipedema Awareness Month, so what is it? So maybe you've heard of lymphedema, but not lipedema. So let's talk about the two. Unlike lipedema, lymphedema has a tendency to not be symmetrical. It'll be more on one side. It can be swelling in the arms and the hands and the feet as well, where lipedema usually is symmetric, and it's usually in the legs or in the arms, sometimes in the torso or buttocks. All right, so here's the basic idea of lipedema, and I'm just gonna read this right from the internet. That way I don't screw up the way I'm saying it. So lipedema is a fat disorder that causes abnormal fat accumulation, often in the legs and hips, but sometimes in the arms. That's what it is for me. It's also known as the disease they call fat. Lipedema is often symmetrical, painful, and can cause skin changes and bruising. So on a very basic level, lipedema is a buildup of excess fat that can't be removed with exercise or weight loss. This type of fat builds up in the arms and in the legs, and oftentimes can kind of block the lymphatic system from working properly as well. People who have lipedema have swelling of the ankle, in the leg. They will have like a fatty deposit above the knee. I will show you examples of my own self so you can see for reference. Oftentimes it'll also have buildup in the arms and sometimes in like the butt and hip area as well. So how do you know if you have lipedema? Well, the number one way obviously is to go to a specialist and get checked and have them tell you whether or not you have lipedema. There are different stages, stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. A lot of people fall into 1. That's where I fall in. How did I find out that I had lipedema? I had a professional check me and diagnose me, but I had suspicions because I had some of the symptoms. Have you ever had somebody grab your arm or grab your leg, or had your like cat walk across your leg and be like, oh my God, that is so incredibly painful? That's a sign. If you ever feel like when somebody grabs your legs or grabs your arm that it feels like it's instant bruising, that is one of the symptoms. Have you ever noticed that all of a sudden there are bruises on your legs and you don't know why and you don't know where they're coming from? That's another one. Final one is just that your legs have always been big. It doesn't matter how much you lose, they kind of stay big. They never proportionately lose weight with the rest of your body. So that is the case for me. As you see in my photo, I have kind of a fat deposit above my knee that never goes away, and I can get to the lowest possible weight, probably 145 or so, and finally the ankle area will start to subside. But in general, it's something that does not go away. As you can see down here, it is swollen. This whole piece is swollen up to here. Even pulling this up right here is super painful on my leg. And then I have a fat deposit right up here above the knee. I actually have some back there too, although I did get some liposuction to remove some of that. But the rest of my body is pretty decently small, and then the legs stay big. Okay, that's really painful. I'm gonna put this down now. Ow, 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 ow. Other symptoms are just a very strong heaviness in the legs. It feels like your mobility is impacted a little bit. But the hard part about having lipedema is that you don't know anything else except for living with lipedema. So oftentimes people are not aware that they have it. They only figure it out when they hear or see a video like this and they go, oh, that's a thing. One of the number one questions I always get is, who is gonna diagnose this? This is a tough one because not many medical professionals know much about lipedema. They know a lot about lymphedema, but lipedema is still kind of new on the radar. Quite a few people have it. I think the percentage I saw last online was about 11% of women. It is very rare in men, but from what I understand, it does happen. So who can diagnose this? It's gonna be either a plastic surgeon. Most of the time it's a plastic surgeon, especially the types of surgeons that work specifically with this. It may be a vascular surgeon, or it may be a dermatologist, and maybe possibly your bariatric doctor as well. Or basically any doctor that treats obesity related conditions. So now you've been diagnosed with lipedema. Now what do you do? Well, You don't necessarily have to do anything. You might just come to terms with the fact that you have lipedema. If it's not getting in the way of your mobility, if it's not painful, if it's not heavy for you, you can deal with it. But if you're looking for ways to deal with it, I will give you some of the top suggestions that I have seen from medical professionals on how to potentially make it better. The number one way to make it better is to have a lipedema professional remove that extra fat with liposuction. Now, if you are easily icked by surgical videos, do not Google this. But if you're not, go ahead and Google. There are a few clinics that do specifically lipedema fat removal. There's one in Spain and there's a few in California. And it's really gross, but it's really cool too, because like they literally pull out this like chunky fat in the legs, and it's cool. All right, so some treatments for lipedema. Number one, huge is exercise. Any kind of movement to get the lymphatic system moving, to help you lose weight. Exercise is always going to be top notch. Another option is compression. Compression garments can really help, and you may need medical grade compression to help kind of some of that swelling go down. I wear compression leggings when I teach fitness. I feel like it helps with the swelling, and I also wear compression socks when I'm flying. Another option is lymphatic drainage massage. I don't know how much that helps over time, but it might help move some of that fluid that's getting trapped in there by the fat. So the jury's still out on that one. Obviously, overall weight loss will help eventually. Right now, I am down to almost my lowest weight. The legs are still legging. The lipedema is still lipedeming. It's not going away, but it is decreasing slowly with time. Other options are rebounder trampolines. You can get a little trampoline and bounce on it, or if you have a big trampoline in the backyard, bouncing on those as well can help move some of that fluid. And then another one that I have recently started trying out, I don't know how well it works, but we're trying it, are those vibration plates. Okay, you might find them at the gym, or you can buy one for $200-300 for home. You stand on it and you shake your booty on it, and it's supposed to help move some of that fluid around as well. So now that you've watched this video, and you might be sitting there going, wait a minute, leave a comment for me and let me know if you think maybe you have it. And if you already know you have it, what is it that you're doing for it? How can you get support? There are websites specifically for lipedema awareness. There are a lot of Facebook groups where you can join with other people that also have lipedema, and they talk about clothes options and exercise options that are better for somebody with lipedema, and just anything else that might be helpful. One final thing that I will say is that if you decide that you want to take the surgical route and actually get that fat removed, please work with a professional that knows what lipedema is, okay? You don't want to just go to some guy who's going to be doing liposuction on your legs and he nicks your lymphatic system or does something that makes it even worse, right? Because surgery and messing around in there can trigger lymphedema. So I have had people reach out to me on YouTube and TikTok that have told me they went in to get liposuction for their lipedema and it actually triggered lymphedema. So they now ended up with one leg that's bigger than the other. So you have to be really careful about who you go to. In future videos, I plan to talk to actual lipedema surgeons and maybe have an interview with them and talk through what it takes to be an actual lipedema surgeon as opposed to somebody who just does plastic surgery and is willing to go into your leg with a little tube and suck things out without actually knowing what they might accidentally do to your body. If this video has been helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. I love the fact that there are people learning about this condition. I know that there are going to be other people who are going to be like, you're just fat. But when you see a person with lipedema, when you go out into the world right now and you start noticing that type of body shape, I promise you, you'll get it. It'll be like, because now when I'm out and about, I see people, or like my students that come to my fitness classes, I see that body type and I see their legs and I see like the fat hanging over their knee and the way that their leg looks, and I'm like, I know that that's what they have. It's an interesting discovery. What can we do about it? I don't know. And furthermore, why is it happening? Is it something in our food system? I don't know. If you're a doctor watching this, feel free to Let us know in the comments why this is happening. If you have any more questions on this topic, leave a comment and I will try to make a video to answer your question.